really entering the end of days for Europe? I'd come to its democratic core, the parliaments that sit in Brussels and Strasbourg, and to meet some of the MEPs. You can certainly hear some unexpected views around here.
No, you said in an interview in Germany that Hitler is a great statesman. What?
No, that's true, but...
When you say people from Islamic culture are trading women for camels, what are you referring to?
I'm referring to the position of women in Islamic countries.
So you think we should fight Muslims who are trying to...
You should fight.
What should happen to them?
Do you know how you fight Muslims? You must produce children.
There are now around 100 MEPs in the European Parliament on the far right and nationalist spectrum, and about 50 on the hard left. In this political environment, the UK Independence Party have been seen as relative moderates. My first mission was to meet the UKIP MEPs, who were in jubilant mood. First up, Roger Helmer.
Come in.
Hello.
You finally made it.
Hello.
Ah, good heavens.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good. At a late hour. So where do you want to be? Where's a good...
Right here, it's great.
Well, there's a woman I greatly admire, yes. I shall be very surprised if Theresa May does quite as well, but a pewter model of a Spitfire.
Mr. Helmer has always been very friendly with the press. I wanted to put to him concerns that the Brexit vote has emboldened far-right European politicians.
You clearly have an agenda. You're trying to push this story about...
agenda.
Well, you are. You're insisting on talking about the far right. I am telling you that there are people with serious reservations about European integration on the right, on the left, and in the centre, right across the spectrum. So to talk constantly about the far right, frankly, you're trying to hang something on us that we don't want hung.
I'm not trying to hang on
we are
I
not.
just think
it's
important that people...
Let me get a word in edgeways. We are not trying to embolden anyone. If the result of Brexit in Britain is that other movements seeking freedom and self-determination are encouraged across Europe, then we will be very happy about that.
Even if they have unpalatable views.
Well, we can't help what views other people have. We are concerned about Britain and British freedom and determination, self-determination. We are working for that. Other people have other views, but I'm not responsible for them.
The European Parliament took a big Eurosceptic swing in 2014. In today's Parliament, disparate parties, some of them on the fringes, team up with others to form bigger multinational alliances. In this way, they get more money and power.
This is a publication from our party.
In another part of the Parliament, I came to meet Udo Voigt.
Who's that? What's that picture? Terrorist.
He's from the extreme right MPD party.
What do you feel about it?
Mr. Voigt has chaired a conference with the Holocaust-denying historian David Irving. In Germany, where Holocaust denial is a crime, he was investigated by police for praising Hitler. A political nobody in Germany, the EU has given him an opportunity to air and share his views. He told me the Brexit victory was a cause for celebration.
What was your reaction?
My reaction was, since I heard it in the morning, to drink a champagne during my breakfast. Usually I don't do this, and I have a very good feeling about the situation that we are able to destroy this kind of Europe.
So it's helped you think? It's helped the far right, Brexit?
It will help the far right in whole Europe, yes, of course.
And so it's a victory, Brexit is a victory for the far right?
It's a victory for the far right, that's true.
The idea of a united Europe was born from the flames and ashes of the Second World War, in which at least 50 million Europeans died. The dream of people like Churchill and de Gaulle was a continent living in peace and security. The shock of Brexit has not stopped the feel-good Euro parties here. Britain is still part of a map of Europe covered with daisies. Nearby, UKIP MEPs were having a sing-song.
The Queen.
But I didn't think you have to accept this.
Back in the Parliament, however, there are politicians who still believe in the idea of Europe at war.
I don't want peace. I want normality. And normality is that sometimes there are wars. It's a normal condition.
You've also in interviews questioned the Holocaust. You in an interview in German television, an investigation showed that you spoke to some journalists and you said that no more than 340,000 Jews died in the Holocaust.
That's not true. All right.
Le peuple britannique vient, lui, de commettre le sacrilège ultime.
In the Parliament, France's Front National is delighted with Brexit and how it could help them in next year's presidential elections. Among the party's MEPs is Bruno Gollnisch, a high-level academic who used to teach at Lyon University. In 2004, he courted controversy when he said historians should be able to discuss the Holocaust death toll.
Nigel Farage, is he a kind of heroic figure among you?
Well, he's a very talentuous politician. In a way, I regret that we could not have deeper contacts, exchanges. I had some talks with him.
How does it boost it? Can you explain how it...
Psychologically.
Depuis la chute du mur de Berlin.
Others too are feeling inspired by Brexit. Cast your eyes to the left of Marine Le Pen, and the man laughing is Marcel de Graaf. He's from the Dutch far-right Party for Freedom.
And we were inspired by Nigel in his...
You were inspired by Nigel?
Yeah, I think I can say that, yeah.
Do they give you any advice, any recommendations, any encouragement?
Encouragement, of course, that we in the Netherlands should also push through with a referendum.
So your UKIP colleagues here gave you encouragement that you should push on?
Yes, of course.
What do they say? What was it?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
You sound just like Mr. Farage.
Certainly Farage is an inspiration for many in this parliament, even though they publicly keep a distance from some of their fans.
We have no formal cooperation, but we have, there are informal contacts, and we are in this regard on the same page. Not to control our national borders, to keep people from Islamic countries out, because Islamization means, and that's our position, to import a culture which is backward.
So, do you see that Christian countries and Christian culture is superior?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, because we have a culture that is based on compassion.
We only make it last for Nigel. We only want what's best for him.
Inigo from Channel 4 News.
Hello, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right, am I?
Are you having a celebration tonight?
My life's been a celebration.
Right now in the European Parliament, Nigel Farage is king of the levers. He dismisses the names he has been called.
So let's just recap some of this. A neo-Nazi, extremist, inciting hatred. That's all right, that's fine. But saying to them, well, of course, none of you have ever had a proper job in your lives.
But was that fair?
You're right, of course it was. Have you met any of these people?
Nigel Farage may have stepped down as leader, but his next moves could spell trouble for Europe. He's talking of a Europe-wide push to spread the Brexit word. EU leaders dismiss him at their peril.
It's all happening.
What are they telling you? What have they been saying to you?
It's all happening. And,
can you give me an example?
The further north in Europe you go, the more excited they are about it. And you know, I think.
What have they said to you since Brexit? Have they?
Well, they are. They are.
Is it Swedish or who is
wildly encouraged. So yeah, I think Denmark and Dexit, and the Netherlands and Nexit, and Sweden and maybe Sexit. You know, I think people are excited by.
Have you had direct discussions?
Of course I have. Yes. Of course I have.
What are they telling you?
And one of the things I've said is that as part of my winding down process, if I can here work with other movements that want to get those referendums, then so be it.
We only make it last for Nigel.
So this is where we are in Europe 2016 as the United Kingdom contemplates Brexit. I popped back to see UKIP's Roger Helmer.
Can this be Channel 4?
Roger, how are you?
He was in conversation with the party's Euro chief whip, Stuart Agnew.
You talk about the far right. The far right's never really got much traction in Britain. It's never really got very far.
We're not talking about in Europe.
But in Europe, the far right is on the march, and That's really where they should be worried about it, not in Britain.
We're having a glass of wine tonight.
Well, we're
talk about the Brexit.
We're going to have I'm going to have a quiet chat with the Chief Whip.
Yeah. You've got to keep them in line, do you?
Yeah, we've got decisions to make, a future leader to elect.
Dinner club's meeting.
Indeed, yes.
After all the fire and fury of the referendum campaign, seeing these two Brexiteers enjoying their wine in the softening sunset, you could easily mistake them for devoted Europhiles.
Brussels there's more going on near the Parliament. You don't have to walk far, and there are bars and restaurants aren't going to cluster Luxembourg.
But it's very nice to come down to Strasbourg. Oh, do you have any olive oil? Yes. And a little dish about both?
Yep.
I suppose we're supposed to put the rillette on the bread.